What's going on, everyone? So yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers brought in Marcus Smart, signed him to a 2-year deal, but with the biannual exception, right? And they are expected to waive Shake Milton. They haven't done it, right? Actually, I'm pre-recording this video super late because I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait around and see if they make the announcement because going into Sunday, it becomes guaranteed. So according to Shams, they are going to waive him, that they are expected to waive him. But it hasn't been official yet. They haven't made the announcement yet. So I don't know. Maybe the Lakers have something in the works, which is what I want to talk about. That there are reports that the Lakers are active and in conversations for various trades, right? Talked about this before. If you can get the same result of waiving Shake Milton as you can by trading him, then you trade him, right? Because it also does right by Shake Milton, right? Rather than just waiving him and he gets nothing, right? He gets left holding the bag with no money in it, right? He at least would be able to get traded and, get some money. Everyone's happy. It's a win-win for everybody. That team takes on Shake, right? So if you can do a trade in order to consolidate salary, which I've talked about. I don't want to see the Lakers do a consolidation trade just to get off salary. Right? Like I don't want here's, Maxi Kleba or Gabe Vincent or whatever and 3 pick swaps or something like that. Thanks for taking them. I'd rather see you go and actually pull off a move where you're landing a guy or two or whatever, right? Maybe it's a big trade. There's a lot of talks about a potential big trade coming. I don't know about a big, I guess it depends on what your definition of a big trade is. I don't think it's going to be this massive, 5-player swing or something crazy like that. Maybe it's possible. I don't want to rule it out, but I think it'll be something like, Lakers send out 2 or 3 guys, right? Like the Andrew Wiggins trade, for example, right? Would have been Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, and Dalton Connect, right? They wanted a first. You don't give up the first, right? You try to keep the first so you can make other moves if you need to. But if you trade 3 guys, bring back 1, clear some salary, open up 2 roster spots, something like that, for example, to where you're getting back essentially everything you need. You're getting back that player that comes in that could be kind of your starter, or if it's not, an Andrew Wiggins, say it's like a rotation player, even a Matisse Thybulle or something like that. You're bringing him in, he's slotting in, right? And then now you have that rotation piece. You free up 2 roster spots, and then, or 1 roster spot, whatever. And then if you need to, you can still waive Shake, but you're bringing in a guy or 2. Maybe you're bringing in a D'Anthony Melton. Maybe you're bringing in an Al Horford, right? Obviously, Marcus Smart has got the biannual exception, so you won't be able to use that unless you end up pulling off a trade that frees salary space, right? That's a very real possibility. Maybe the Lakers clear off a bunch of salary space, through various trades. Maybe they do a big kind of trade and unload several guys and clear $10 million off the books by giving off some stuff, and then that way they could bring in guys. I would imagine that, they would know, and is it worth doing something like that to bring, I would love to bring in Al Horford. I'd love to bring in, various guys, talks about maybe like a Jeremy Grant getting bought out or, a Nikola Vucevic, right? Maybe if Jeremy Grant's going to get bought out and that he's coming, then maybe you do something like that. Cause it's okay, we can then bring in and sign, Jeremy Grant, Al Horford, and D'Anthony Melton. We cleared $10 million off the books, and so we have some wiggle room and some salary space, and maybe something like that. But I think realistically speaking, you're probably looking at just kind of a more linear trade where it's just like, hey, we'll do these 2 guys for that guy or these 3 guys for that guy. Now, it is very possible that we don't get a trade yet, right? That we just get kind of the news of the Shake Milton thing, and then the Lakers still be active on the trade. Got to keep in mind, they have 48 hours from the time Marcus Smart is bought out before he clears waivers. So they have a couple days to kind of work on things. So you could just see maybe Shake get waived. If they needed to, they could waive Jordan Goodwin, but I'd like to keep Goodwin, right? I don't want to see, I want addition. I don't want, -2 + 1, right? And look, don't get me wrong. If it's Marcus Smart or Jordan Goodwin and Shake Milton, then you go with Marcus Smart and you get off of Jordan Goodwin and Shake Milton. It's just, that's the reality. But if you can keep Jordan Goodwin, right? Even if you do have the intention of maybe waiving him later on down the line, if that guy becomes available, right? Because you're still going to have the buyout market post trade deadline, right? So I would like to keep Jordan Goodwin, one, because I think he's a player that can help over an 82 game season. How much will he play in the playoffs? I don't know. It depends on how good he is during the regular season. But at least over 82 games, you're going to have guys that are going to get the night off and whatnot. His ability to play multiple positions, do multiple things out there on the basketball court, kind of just be a guy that can maybe even keep minutes low for some guys, right? Kind of play and operate in certain folds for the Lakers, right? Like, but if that guy comes along, right, it's not one of those things where I think like Jordan Goodwin's untouchable or anything like that, right? Like if the right guy becomes, like, let's say Jeremy Grant doesn't get bought out right now, but let's say he does at the trade deadline, right? And it's like, okay, well, we could get we could get Jeremy Grant, but we'd have to waive Jordan Goodwin. Then yeah, like that makes sense, right? Because you're kind of upgrading that roster spot. You're bringing in a guy that's just a better player that, kind of fits what you're trying to do right now. Then fine, so be it. But I don't want to necessarily see that. So again, it could just be we see that, and then the Lakers are still active in trades. But it's good that we're seeing the Lakers, or at least the reports of the Lakers being active in the trade market, in the trade front, trying to find some type of consolidation trade while also getting players. Right? Like they should be active, right? Like you're in the mix of really. I think you're close. Right? Like it's possible they're already there. Right? Like Marcus Smart, if he can stay healthy, that's really the only concern with him, right? Is just his health. Like I don't hate the idea of the Lakers going into the season, like waive Shake Milton. Problem is, again, then you'd have to waive Jordan Goodwin, but you'd have that open roster spot and you can kind of figure stuff out later, maybe do the consolidation trade later. But you could do something where like you go into the season, kind of see how do things play out. How is Marcus Smart looking health-wise? How is Ayton kind of fitting in? How is Jake LaRavia fitting in? What if Jake LaRavia is the answer? Like what if he ends up, he's already a B+ rated defender. What if he jumps up to an A? He was averaging 18 a game before he ended up getting hurt with Sacramento. Like what if he comes in and be that guy? Right? So again, I don't hate if the Lakers kind of want to continue. Again, I preach patience all the time. Be patient, kind of wait for the right trade, wait for the right move. I don't want to lose Goodwin if you can take care of business now, right? But again, no trade is better than a bad trade, right? Like I don't want to see the Lakers do a bad trade just to keep Jordan Goodwin around, right? Like to me at that point, it's like get off of him, go into the season with 14 guys on your roster, figure it out from there, and then, again, maybe the Lakers are this like clear-cut contender, or maybe the Lakers are looking really good to where it's like it incentivizes Rob to like, okay, maybe we should overpay for a guy. Like I'm not against, and I've talked about it, I'm not against overpaying for a guy if it makes sense. Right? Like Mark Williams, that trade was an overpay, but it made sense. You could justify it. You weren't just overpaying just to overpay. It was like you needed a center. He was a guy that could be your franchise center for the next 8 years. He's the type of center you want alongside Luka. Right? Like it made sense. You're in this place where teams aren't going to help you. You just landed Lucas. You're probably going to have to overpay regardless. So again, if you can justify it, right? Like if the Lakers look like, hey, we're an Andrew Wiggins away from being, a champion, like legit hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy, then yeah, you go make that move. Because again, now at that point, it's justified. Now at that point, their argument makes sense in order to do that. Where right now, I don't think that makes sense. I don't know if Andrew Wiggins by himself, it wouldn't be by himself, but you get the point, right? Like, I don't know if that alone is the move that helps. Now, if Al Horford's coming and that, DeAnthony Melton's coming, then yeah, maybe it makes more sense because maybe you're now looking at it as, okay, we're not just getting in Andrew Wiggins, we're getting Andrew Wiggins and Al Horford and a DeAnthony Melton on top of Marcus Smart, and again, it has to be justifiable. Right? Like if you see that trade and it's like they gave up the first, they gave up Connect and everything, right? Lakers can't miss on a trade. They don't have the assets and luxury. Right? They don't have the ability to just go, hey, we're gonna overpay for a guy, and if it doesn't work out, it's fine. We'll just find another trade because there might not be another trade. Right? Again, teams aren't gonna help the Lakers out of the kindness of their heart. Right? Sure, could you maybe, if you still have some pick swaps, maybe you could go get a Matisse Thybulle for a pick swap or two because, the Portland Trailblazers, like, we don't want to just lose him for nothing, right? Like, sure, but again, you have to, if you're Rob Pelinka, you have to make sure whatever move you make, whatever trade it is, it hits and it hits right and it puts you in a winning position. You don't want to end up doing something that now sets you back further. Now you have to kind of try to figure that out, right? Like, the Lakers are having a good offseason. They've solved pretty much all their needs to a degree, right? Like, they needed a center badly. You got a potential franchise center. You needed a 3-and-D wing. You got a potential franchise 3-and-D wing and Jake LaRavia, who's 23 years old, again, B-rated defender, already a good scorer, shooter, all that stuff. Adutero coming in, right? Athletic, looks like he's ready now as far as like defensive capabilities go, right? Okay, cool. And then you bring in a Marcus Smart. Again, you're starting to slowly piece these things together. Now, it's just, how does it play out on the basketball court? We'll see. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. As always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.